Ryan, how would you describe the difference in running back styles between Kalen and Kenyon? How different are they?
I think they're both really good backs. I think they both both can run with power. They both have speed. They both have good vision. I think they're both explosive backs. I think they both do a good job in the pass game. I think we got a couple good backs, but we also got some good young guys who are coming along as well. Kenneth Farrell, Miles Gaskin, Laird. I mean, all these guys are doing a really good job. So we got a good group of backs, and Mark Walton. I won't forget about him. He's done a good job as well. I like that position. I like that group. It's a good competition. And I think they're all improving every day and getting better.
With Kenyon and Kalen, how much progress have you made in figuring out how to use their skill sets? And how much will you learn tomorrow, you think?
I think that's, yeah. And we're going. See, that's a great thing when your peers, your teammates tell you what they know what the drill is. What was what was that question? Can you read
How
it?
much progress have you made in figuring out how to make the most of their skill sets? How much do you think you'll learn tomorrow?
I think that's ongoing. I think we learn something a little bit more every day. What guys can do, what they can't do, what plays work better for some guys and don't work as well for some other guys. What positions, offensively, defensively in the kicking game, are the best fit, and that also ties into the best groupings or pairs in some instances. I think it's ongoing. I think I just think of something defensively. These two guys, they really do a good job of working games together, or these pair of offensive linemen do a good job of passing off games. I think that's an ongoing thing, and part of that is, we see it as coaches, but yeah, we need to see it on the field from a communication standpoint, from a fundamental standpoint. But both those guys are good backs who, we expect to see improvement in production from both guys.
Coach, do you think by naming Ryan Fitzpatrick the leader in your competition publicly that motivated Josh Rosen this week?
My hope is that he's motivated every day, regardless of what anyone says. Me, the media, anyone. It doesn't matter. And I hope that's the case for everyone on this team. So I'm very passionate about this game. So motivation is something that and energy and effort and consistency. To me, those should be a given. So my dealings with Josh and really everybody on this team is they're motivated internally. He's a self-starter. He's a guy who works hard and he's competitive. But yeah, he's a motivated individual, as well as are a lot of guys on this team.
Ryan, what do you think of your defensive tackle rotation / depth right now with Wilkins and Gottschall and then Taylor and Spence? And I don't know if Adolphus would be number 5, but what do you think of that group right now?
I think it's a good group. I think you definitely need to rotate at that position. I shouldn't say you need to rotate, but when you have some depth, you like to rotate. I think they're all getting in good shape. I think they all have a little bit different skill set. I think they all work hard. I think they all are strong at the point of attack and do a good job in the run game. Each one of them has a little bit different, pass rush attributes. But I think it's a good group. Again, another one where there's a good amount of competition and rolls on first down to second down to third down to red zone to even in the kicking game, field goal block to field goal protection. I mean, it's just multiple roles for big guys, big athletic guys, and I think they're doing a good job. And again, it's about consistency. So they've done a good job up to this point, and we just need to be more consistent. I shouldn't say more consistent. Continue the consistency.
I know you got one practice left before the scrimmage, but what will be your focus tomorrow in the scrimmage?
my focus in the scrimmage tomorrow will be about, let's take the fundamentals, the technique, the things that we've harped on, that we've preached, really since the spring, and put them into action in what, will simulate a little bit more of game action. So that's the hope for tomorrow. Again, to just another element of the evaluation for each player, opportunity for the coaches to, work in that setting as well. We try to simulate it as much as we can out here on the field. Hopefully tomorrow, getting in the booth and getting on the headsets and having everybody kind of work from that standpoint, from a coaching aspect, that'll be good practice.
Patrick Graham and Chad O'Shea
Yeah.
said to ask you where they're going to be. So tomorrow, and maybe during the season, if you can tell us that part too. Are they downstairs or upstairs?
During the game?
Yeah, in the booth or on the field. Where would you like them?
They're going to be on the field. They're going to be on the field. I think they need to be. Their voices need to be heard on the field by the players. And I would say most coordinators are on the field. I know there's a handful who like to be in the booth, and I think it's a personal preference thing. But I think they'll both be on the field.
So if your OC is on the field, I might be asking too much, but is there a person who will be solid? I know it's a team effort, but a person who's really going to be good eyes for Chad in the box, that is going to get the box.
We're going to have coaches in the box, for sure, offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. All those coaches will have a responsibility in game. Those roles are clearly defined. And yes, there will be people and persons, or persons and people, however you want to word it, up in the box for who are going to be eyes for Chad, eyes for Patrick, eyes for Danny. And again, we're all just trying to help each other put the players in the best position. So yes, we will have eyes for both coordinators in the box.
Brian, obviously this is made jest earlier, but the TNT wall, we've seen coaches run to the wall as well in addition to players. What has to happen for a coach to...
Well, we're all in this together. I think that's what a team is. It's not, we don't separate the players and the coaches, the coaches and the scouts and the executives. We're all in this together. So, the coaches run. I ran yesterday. I think it's something that I think when you embrace the team atmosphere, team culture, put the team first type of environment, I think one run, we all run. I think that's the kind of environment that we're trying to create. And the coaches, they understand that this is not you have to do it. It's that team first attitude that we're looking for.
What made you run yesterday?
It starts with me.
So what,
It starts with me. We had an issue defensively, which falls into the takes no talent category, and we ran. And mistakes happen. The idea right now is we're trying to eliminate the ones that are pre-snap or that take no talent. We're trying to eliminate those. And again, that starts with me. As a leader of this team, I'm going to lead by example. And I told those guys that. And it's not a punishment. It's not I know it could be perceived that way, but it's to me, it's just it's standard operating procedure for us. Like, we want to execute and take care of those little things, those little details that are really focus based and things that we can handle. That really, truly, honestly, just beat ourselves. So again, it's just a reminder to the team. That those are the things that stop you from winning games, and that's important detail, and we need to be on top of those.
Brian,
Offensively, when you want to have specific lineups for down and distance, different packages, how do you combat that when a team is going no huddle?
Keep the same group in there. If they substitute, then by rule we're allowed to substitute. But if they're going no huddle, then we've got to leave the group that's in there. So you got to be multiple enough in that group with calls and fronts and coverages and pressures and exotics. If you got a group that's multiple enough to do that, then you do it. If you don't, then they got you where they want them. They got you where they want you. You can only sit in a couple coverages. They know what you're doing, and they take advantage of it. So, it's our job as coaches to create a situation defensively where we can be multiple. And conversely, on offensively, if we catch a team who's stuck in a particular defense and they've only got a few things that they do, we have to take advantage of that. So, again, it's a little bit of a chess match. But, going no huddle in this heat is can be tough. So.
Ryan, what would the structure of your scrimmage be?
We've talked about that a lot as a staff, what that'll look like, but it'll be, it'll look a lot like a game in a lot of ways. We may kind of skip a few. We'll try to create some situations. So we may create a 2-minute situation at the half, one at the game. We may create, some kicking game situations. There's some specifics I have in mind that I'd like to see in this type of environment. But for the most part, it'll just run like a game.
Ryan, we've seen changes at the starting guard position the last couple of practices. Are you happy with what you've seen from Dieter and Calhoun?
I think they've done a good job. 2 young guys who are working hard and taking the coaching and trying to apply the coaching as much as they can. I think they're 2 good young players, and they need to continue to develop. I think, but everyone in this team needs to continue to develop and develop the consistency on a day-to-day basis. From a technique, fundamental standpoint. Those guys are doing well, and look, we'll be moving guys around and trying to get the best group out there, throughout training camp, into the preseason games, and beyond that.
Brian, as you know, Nick Bonaconte died a couple of days ago.
Yep.
And he attributed some of the problems he was having later in life to football. So my question to you is, how often do issues such as proper tackling techniques, player safety, how often does that come up with the coaching staff and the players here?
Well, condolences to the Bonaconte family. He was obviously a great player for this team for a long time. Hall of Famer. But again, we talk about tackling technique and keeping your head up and for health reasons. It's something that's important to us as an organization. It's something we stress and again, I've pulled people out of practices and games for bad technique and form. So it's something that's important to this organization, to me personally, and it's a great game. But it's a tough game, and there are collisions, and I think it's the part of the coaches and the coaching staffs, really, at all levels to teach the proper form technique so that we can avoid any of the let's call it head, neck, injuries if we can.